This is the new Kia Ceed, and it's a little bit like a OnePlus mobile phone, which is what I own. And you're probably thinking, Matt, surely it should be like a Samsung because that's Korean, Samsung's Korean. But no, a Samsung is a premium phone and you pay extra just for the name. OnePlus does all that it needs to for less money, as does the Kia Ceed. So it starts from just over £18,000, but through carwow you can save just over £2,000 on average. Now, if you want to see how much money you can save on a new car, click on the pop-out banner up there on the link below the video to go to carwow. Or after you've watched this video and you want to come back and check some prices, just Google carwow and the name of the car you want to check out the best deal on. This new Ceed is quite a good looking car, I think. And this is the entry-level version, the 2 as it's called. And yet it doesn't look like it's lacking any bits of trim. You've got chrome here on the grille, it's got a dark glossy black grille as well. You've got 16-inch alloys. It all looks pretty smart. Now when you climb inside, actually here, it's not too bad either. When you start the car, you get this little jingle like that. Now you can turn that off if it does your head in, but it's kind of cool. You get a nice little graphic display on the very small digital screen there you get in between the dials. Speaking of the dials, they do look a little bit childish, maybe an old-fashioned, but it's not too bad. In terms of the rest of the interior design, it's okay. So you've got this kind of curved dashboard here, which looks a little bit odd, almost like it's been melted, but they've tried to make it seem premium by giving it soft touch materials and stitching effect there. Once again, it like bends like it's melted over the instrument binnacle. It's all right, and it's all very, very simply laid out. So yeah, there's your controls for your ventilation system, nice and easy to use. You've got shortcut buttons there for the infotainment system. Dead simple. And like I said, quality is actually pretty good. So all very solidly put together. You've got squidgy materials up here on the door. You can get comfy, no problem. So there's plenty of adjustment in the driver's seat, and there is a decent amount of headroom. So you can jack your chair all the way up if you want to, or lower it down if you are quite tall, and it does go back quite a way as well, although of course that will affect the amount of legroom for people in the back. The steering wheel moves as much as it needs to, and in some cars it just drops down, but this is nicely damped and feels solid. You've got your controls here on the steering wheel for the various infotainment functions and driving functions. And I have to say, Kia has really improved their steering wheels. They were a real letdown in their old cars, especially the central part just felt cheap and nasty, but this is a nice one. It feels good, which is important because this is the part of the car that you come into contact with the most, apart from the seats, of course, with your bottom. And I do like these seats as well. Entry-level car, entry-level trim, and it all feels pretty nice. And they are comfortable. I've done quite a long distance in this car and haven't had backache or any problems at all. So let's move on to the infotainment system. This is the standard one. It's a 7-inch screen, but you can get a large one, and that's why this one has this bezel around it, which does look a bit cheap, and it's not the brightest screen. It's easy to operate there. You can go through the different menus, but the key thing is it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So even though it doesn't have sat-nav, it doesn't matter. You just hook up your phone and then just use your maps through your phone there. It's dead easy to use. You just plug it in down here because you've got your USB input there. There's auxiliary there if you want to go a bit old-fashioned. And you've got two 12-volt sockets there, which is handy, so you can charge quite a few mobile devices. But there's a little tray there that you can fit your OnePlus mobile phone in there, or a Samsung if you've gone premium. There's some more storage, obviously here. There's some cup holders, which are reasonably deep, though you can't have tall items in there because it gets in the way of the gear selector. The door bins are a decent size. Look, that's a 2-litre bottle. Admittedly, I wedged that in there, but it will just about fit. You've got some more storage under here. I wasn't expecting that. That's someone's lunch, which I might enjoy later on. Don't think they'll be too happy if I have that. And in this glove box, it's not the biggest, but it'll do. And you do have cooling there from the air conditioning. So yeah, not bad at all. Oh wait, is this another storage space? No, it's just the fuse box cover. In other cars, it is, but not in this one. You do have some space there for your sunglasses, and it's padded so you don't damage them. The lights here in the car are a little bit old-fashioned, but other than that, you know, it's a reasonably priced car. So, as standard, this entry-level model gets air conditioning, you get cruise control. You also get a reversing camera, which is really good. I put the details of this particular car into carwow. So this is the 1 litre petrol Model 2, and it should have been just over £18,000, and I got an offer back for £16,500, which is quite a lot of car for the money. Now, if you want to try our configurator, you can just click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or the link below the video to check it out, or just Google CarWow, and just from our homepage, you'll be able to try it out and check out some prices and some deals that you can get on various cars. Now, you can step up to the 3 model, which then adds the larger screen with satellite navigation. You then have dual zone climate control. Now, for more details on this car's infotainment system, click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or on that link below the video, and you can watch my detailed video review of the system and have another look around this car's cabin. Anyway, let's move into the back. So, I was going to say it's easy to get into the car because it is quite a wide space. Probably not if you're trying to present to camera like I was, so just bash my head. But actually, it's not too bad. I did the car a disservice. I could have done that in any car. So, room in the back is actually pretty decent. So headroom, I can fit a whole hand like that above my head, even if I sit up dead straight. Knee room is all right. So this seat is my usual driving position, and it's not bad. It's not the best for this size of car, but it'll do. And because the seats are quite raised, you can just squeeze your feet under the seat in front. The floor itself is reasonably flat. There's not too much of a hump in it. So if you need to carry 3, there is room for everyone's feet. And still, once again, look, I've just about got enough headroom. There will be a bit of a squeeze with 3 adults in the back, but kids will be fine, and the window ledge isn't too high, so they get a decent view out. Also, look, you've got an extra little window there to help keep it nice and bright. In fact, this lighter roof lining does help with it. It does make it feel dark and dingy back here. You've got a coat hook there. It's not the best position, but it's all right. It doesn't get too much in your way if you want to hang your coat up while you're in the back of the car. In terms of other features, look at this. You've got this armrest. Now, the cup holders are exposed. They're not covered, but unlike on some other cars where they have them there, it doesn't matter so much because you don't end up putting your elbow in them, so it's not too bad. You've also got a bit more storage here in the back of the front seats, and you can fit an iPad in there. It's not the biggest area, but down here you've got some cup holders, which if I just get my flask, you'll see, look, plenty of room. Come on, fit in now, I've said it. There we go, see. Now, I like this feature. The ISOFIX covers are actually hinged, so you just push the baby seat in there. It's dead easy to fit, and you don't end up losing them like you do with the covers that lift off in many other cars. So that's all good. It's got a lot going for it, really. So let's move on to the boot. So in terms of outright size, this Kia's boot is a little bit above average for this size of car, which is a good thing. It's actually quite a practical boot as well, so not much of a load lip. You can just slide things out, dead simple. That's because, look, you've got an adjustable boot floor, which you can lower if you want to increase the capacity, carry some taller items in here, but you might want to just leave it in this upright position. Also, this floor has various tether points there as well, which you can attach things to. There's a strap for attaching some more stuff and tying it down there. You've got various hooks. You can just hang stuff off. So all in all, quite a practical boot with some extra little storage areas at the side. And I should point out under there, this car has a space saver spare wheel, which is handy. It's better than having a tyre repair kit, much easier to deal with in the event of a puncture. So if you need to carry longer items, you can fold the seats down easily from the boot like that and just flop down, nice and simple. And you have a nice continuous, fairly flat low bay, which of course makes it easy to slide things in and out like that. Now, for more detail on this car's practicality, click on the pop-out banner in the top right corner of the screen up there, or the link below the video to watch my detailed practicality video. So I'll show you exactly how much stuff you can fit in this car's boot, what it's like with 3 adults in the back, and how easy it is to fit a child seat.
Now then, it's time for the CarWow 5 annoying things about this car.
The rear view mirror on this car is just overly large and it feels super cheap. In fact, the bezel kind of reminds me of NHS glasses. In fact, if you've got rear view mirrors on prescription, this is probably what you'd end up with. If you want to clean underneath the wiper blades when you're washing the car, you've got to be careful because look at that, you can't really lift the wiper blades up, otherwise you'll scratch the paintwork there. You can lift them up by putting them in a service position, which is what you have to do if you want to change the wiper blades, but I followed the manual and it doesn't make sense, it doesn't seem to work. And I'm not stupid, I've got a degree in chemistry. For some reason, the buttons on the key fob are on the side. That makes them quite small, especially the one to open the car. It's really fiddly to press. Seeing as you have a false floor, you think, oh, do you know what? I bet I can fit the low cover under there because it looks about the right size. Look, that bit goes in, but the front part is just a little bit too wide. So no, you can't. If it's raining quite badly and you get in and out of the car, you'll end up getting some rain on the inside door trim. And for some reason, this part here ends up with this odd mottled effect. I'm hoping it'll come off with a bit of interior cleaner. If not, sorry Kia.
Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5.
Even the entry-level 2 version of the Ceed gets a reversing camera as standard, and the picture is pretty sharp. Plus, when you turn the steering wheel, you get these guidelines which move to show you where you're heading. You get loads of safety kit as standard right across the range. So as well as auto emergency braking, you get, look, lane keeping assist, which will automatically steer the car a bit to stop you wandering over the white line. Normally, you have to pay extra for that, but not here. Brilliant. The rear windows wind pretty much all the way down, which is handy if you just want to lean your arm out. Tell you what, that's a rarity these days. Special eco versions of the Ceed have improved aerodynamics to help them slip through the air more easily to help reduce fuel consumption. For instance, they have a grille which can shut at speed to reduce drag and a special flat underbody for the exact same reason. Being a Kia, you get an industry-leading 7-year warranty. Now, it's not so important if you've got the car on a lease or a finance deal and you change it regularly, such as 2 or 3 years. But if you keep your car for a long time or are buying used, it's a good thing. The Kia Ceed gets all the basics right, and it's pretty easy to drive in town. So the view forward's good, not so much of a blind spot there. There is one at the back pillar which can be annoying when you like doing those junctions like that, but they are quite rare, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The gear shift is actually quite nice and easy. The clutch pedal's good as well. My only issue is with the brake pedal, which is maybe a touch too sensitive, so it can make you drive a little bit jerkily. The steering's fast though, so if you're suddenly having to turn around a roundabout or weave to dodge your car, it's good, and it's not too heavy, so it's easy when parking as well. So in town it's pretty good, especially because the suspension feels quite nice and soft over the bigger bumps. So yeah, good in town. You get the Ceed with the choice of 3 engines. So there's the 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol in this car, a 1.4 litre turbo petrol, or a 1.6 litre diesel. And I say really, just get this engine. You can get it with every single trim, and it suits the car just fine. It's got enough performance, so when you put your foot down, it does respond. Though to really make it go quickly, you have to work it a bit harder. And the engine itself can be a little bit gruff. Though if I put it in neutral, you can hear it, a little bit, it makes a bit of a sound. Sounds like it's a bit more aggressive than it actually is, but it's easily good enough. In terms of economy, I'm doing just over 36 miles per gallon, which it isn't great. I thought I'd get a bit more out of it, but hey, if you want better economy, get the 1.6 litre diesel. Now, one thing you do notice when you're going at faster speed in the Kia is that you get a little bit of noise from the road. Not too much wind noise, it's more from the tyres. So it's not the quietest hatchback you can buy, but it's all right. And it's absolutely fine for cruising around. Do lots of miles in this, especially because the seats are super comfy. If there is one thing with this car, it's when you go over those faster undulations, it doesn't feel quite as steady as some other hatchbacks, say like a Ford Focus or a Volkswagen Golf. So even though the steering is quite dirty, it never feels sporty. In fact, there's almost a disconnect between what you feel the car's doing and what it's actually doing. It's almost like there's a layer of wool between you and all the controls. For instance, if you were to dare throw it down a twisty road, while it grips okay, it's really hard to tell what's going on beneath you, and it kind of bobs about and feels a little bit loose and a little bit flustered at times, as might you be if you get too carried away. But for most people, especially the kind of people who are going to buy a Kia Ceed, it's more than up to the job. This just doesn't do the very best job. Now, if you want to check out the savings you can get on the new Kia Ceed, you can click on the link in the top right corner of the screen. On the one below the video, take you to our website, you can see the best prices. Alternatively, just Google Kia Ceed deals carwow and you'll go straight there. Okay, so my verdict on the new Kia Ceed. Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Kia Ceed. You know, similar cars are a bit better to drive, but it's quite a smart looking thing and it's incredible value for money.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it, comment on it and share it. Also click on our logo to subscribe to this channel, and if you click on the bottom right hand corner you can actually watch more of our content. Meanwhile, click over to the right to go to our deals page to see how much money you can save on a new car at CarWow.